Greetings, beloved people. You are welcome to another wonderful episode of Girl Life Gist. I am Feyi Jimba, and today I have a very special guest in the house. He is Professor Fatai Ayinde Aremu. He is a professor of political science from the University of Ilorin. He is also the CEO and founder of Research Enterprise Systems, located at Suite D14, Rukayat Plaza, Jabi, Abuja. You are most welcome, sir.
Nice to be with you.
Yes, it's such a pleasure to have this discussion with you.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much, sir. So, will you now tell us about Research Enterprise System? What is Research Enterprise System? How did it come about? What are the principles, its values? What do you want to achieve with setting up the organization?
Well, Research Enterprise System was established in 2015, but it came into full operation just about a year ago. The idea behind Research Enterprise System is to create a platform for people to learn and be empowered on how to do policy-oriented research, and to also be empowered on how to develop strategy for implementation of policies, and to also build the capacity for leaders to advance the development agenda for Nigeria and for Africa.
What are the things you really want to achieve by creating the organization?
So the main vision is to empower both the demand and supply side of decision making with reliable, credible, and timely evidence, because what we have found out in our own part of the world is that decision making is based on either anecdotal evidence or pure assumptions that we already know. So when there is a problem, you see decision makers either in the parliament or in the executive say, oh, we already know this is the problem. What we need is more money to build more schools, to do this. So the kind of evidence that go into decision making is not as strong as it should be. So we feel that we can contribute to this by building the capacity of people to generate reliable evidence to inform decision making.
Okay. So in a simple term, that if people want to do authentic research, they should come here.
Yes, if they want to improve their capacity for cutting edge research, that is that can inform decision making, they can come here. If they want to improve their capacity to develop strategy and implement strategies, they can come here. If they want to improve their capacity for leadership, to develop a vision, to develop an approach that will enable them deliver their results, this is where they should come.
Okay. So what does Research Enterprise do, like concerning gender equality or gender equity?
So what we have in Research Enterprise System is a set of core values that drive our operation. And one of the core values, in addition to the values of integrity, honesty, one of the core values that drive our operation is inclusion. And within the rubrics of inclusion is our commitment to gender equity.
Okay.
That is, in everything that we do, in our training programs, in the kind of research that we do, in the kind of analysis that we do, we take gender lens very important. We would not do any data that is not sex disaggregated, for example, and any intervention that they invite us to develop. We make sure that we put our gender lens up to know what it means for women as opposed to what it means for men, what it means for girl child as opposed to what it means for a boy child.
How does this translate to like the everyday woman on the street?
So it translates a lot in the sense that our systems, our processes, our laws, our budgets, all of them are gender blind. And when they take decisions on the basis of the thinking that, well, we have done it. Nobody has taken time to reflect on the different impact of those decisions on men and women. So even in a classroom, for example, when you have boys and girls seated in the classroom and the teacher is in front teaching, the classroom environment, the kind of content that is being delivered and how it is being delivered will have different meanings and impact on the students. So our teachers have not been trained on how to do gender responsive content selection and delivery.
Okay.
So when a girl is in the class and is listening to the teacher, probably that girl is having stomach upset.
Okay.
Maybe she's about to have a period.
Okay.
And then the teacher probably in front is a man who doesn't understand what that means. The girl will be unable to approach the teacher to let the teacher know what's really going on. And most of the schools do not have those kind of systems to enable a girl child to go and express themselves on what they are really going through. So the girl will be uncomfortable throughout and not paying attention to the class. And because maybe the school doesn't even have toilets and doesn't have sanitary materials, maybe the next day the girl didn't come to school, the third day she didn't come to school. The following week she shows up, the teacher will say, okay, go and kneel down there. You didn't come to class. You're always a tyrant. You come to class 1 day, 2 days. So instead of allowing some kind of an approach that is very encouraging for the girl child, the system actually gives a serious blowback on her. And then she serves punishment for something that is completely out of her control. And that's the way it has been. And then the performance of the girl child will be going backward. I just gave that as an example, but the same thing applies to other areas. I've had a story, and I believe that story to be true, of a woman who had to attend promotion exam the very day she gave back to a child. So she left labor room to go and attend to a promotion exam because the system is not designed to accommodate the peculiarities of the woman. So once she misses the promotion exam, she has to wait for the following year. And then she just had to. So nobody will say, okay, since she's a pregnant woman, let's arrange another time for her to do her own exam. So these are the kind of things that I'm talking about. Our systems, our processes, our laws, our budget, everything is gender blind. So we have a lot of work to do to create the consciousness and awareness that, well, when you become gender responsive, it doesn't take anything away from you. You are just treating everybody as a human being.
Okay. So are you saying that the trainings that research enterprise systems will be given will affect teachers?
So,
who are those who should come here for training?
There is nobody that cannot come into research enterprise system for training. Okay. There is nobody that is, because every aspect of life has its knowledge element of it.
Yeah.
So, and without appropriate knowledge, action will be faulty. So, if you give us a project, for example, to do capacity building for teachers on gender responsive pedagogy, we can do that. We can do capacity building for people to know how to teach in a way that is gender responsive. We can do gender responsive research, we can do gender responsive budget analysis training. There are so many things that can be done.
Oh, that's very interesting. And because of the way you discussed the last question that was asked, it reminded me of something I saw in the newspaper last week. I actually saw it online, and it's about Spain, which passed its gender equality bill in February. And as an addition to that bill, recently they have decided that they will start giving paid leave to women when they are doing their menstrual, doing their menstruation. So, what do you think?
So, I mean, Spain is a country that has already set the pace along that line. But if you mention that to people in this context, they are likely to say, what? How can you be... you're already giving menstrual leave for women, which we don't have. Whether you are under menstruation or not, you must come to work, and you must come early, and you must close like any other person. So our system is not designed for those kind of things. Now, if you now add on top of that a leave bonus, an allowance for someone who has already taken menstrual leave, you can imagine the kind of rejection that idea will generate. But then, the truth. So the reason is that, as I've always said, gender blindness is a problem, because people didn't understand why you should tweak the system, adjust the system to accommodate the peculiarity of the woman.
Yeah.
Which is something that can be overcome, and it will be overcome with time, but it needs a lot of public education, it needs a lot of gender education, and it needs a lot of this training that we're talking about on how to be gender responsive.
Yeah.
So if you are a policymaker, if you are a decision maker, if you are the head of an office, if you are the governor or the commissioner or anything, and you know that within the menstrual period, the woman already passes through a lot of pain. So even when you keep her in the office, she will not be at her best. So when you provide her leave to be at home, you also want to provide some kind of comfort while she's there. And then you provide this, because once you are on leave, you are entitled to the leave bonus.
Yeah.
So I think that's what Spain has done. And I believe with time, it may take a little while, but many other countries will follow suit.
Okay, so concerning the gender equality bill that was thrown out in the last dispensation by the National Assembly here in Nigeria, what do you think can be done in this new dispensation? Perhaps there will still be people who will tender the bill and tender it and see if it will be passed into law. What can be done to make the National Assembly, approve of it?
So the gender bill has been there for quite a while, but the Ninth Assembly actually made effort to pass it, but unfortunately it failed at the end of the day. But when it comes to legislative advocacy, when it comes to bill processing in the National Assembly, the failure of the bill does not mean the end of that bill. Obviously, I'm very sure, I'm confident that the bill will still be reintroduced in the 10th Assembly. So, but the advocates, the activists, the enthusiasts, those who are passionate about gender responsive policy, gender responsive laws, and creating more space for representation of women and creating space for economic empowerment of women.
Yeah.
Those who are interested in this kind of ideals will need to look back and see what kind of lessons they can pull out of the experiences in the Ninth Assembly, so that they can make adjustment as the bill is being represented in the 10th Assembly. For example, probably the title of the bill will need to be reconsidered, because the moment you say gender equality, there are some emotions that it provokes. Some people will say, how will? But imagine if you make it to be something like Equal Opportunities Bill. And many other countries, they've worked around that by changing the framing of the title of the bill. When you say Equal Opportunity Bills, of course, the content of the Gender Equality Bill and the content of the Equal Opportunity Bills will not be different. But the title will be more acceptable when you frame it differently depending on how you approach it.
Maybe the confusion is that people don't really know what gender equality means. Can you tell us what gender equality means?
So the concept gender equality simply means that whatever intervention, whatever policy, whatever thing that you want to do, you make sure that you accommodate the peculiarities of each gender.
Not just women.
No, it's not just about women. It's about providing the enabling environment that will give each of the gender the opportunity that they deserve. And without allowing one gender to overshadow the other or to disadvantage the other. Without allowing the gender peculiarities of each of these to be a barrier to them to reach their optimal potential. That's what it means.
So it's not like maybe the gender, when you say gender equality, that you are taking sides with the women, you want to make women more powerful than men. Or
Okay, so let us superimpose it on the initial example I gave of the classroom, of the school. What gender equality will simply mean is that in a particular school, you create an environment that will enable the girl child to accommodate those peculiarities that will impede our ability to learn in the class. For example, you should have very hygienic environment for them when it is time for their menstruation to go and do what they are supposed to do. And the schools should provide all the necessary requirements to enable the girl to go and take whatever, whether she needs sanitary pads, whether she needs advice from some counselors in the school who would be able to, who can attend to their peculiar needs, so that when she is in class, she is able to pay attention just like the boy child. But by not providing this kind of enabling environment, and you are assuming that students are students, they are the same, when in actual fact they are not, and their needs are different.
Okay. So will the gender equality be, for instance, cater to the needs of the boy child too, or to the needs of men?
Of course, it will. It will. It doesn't mean that it's not a we versus, it's just if you frame it in a different way, you're saying equal opportunity behavior.
Yeah.
Everybody should be given their fair due and their fair share of the opportunities that are available. And the moment you are realizing that these opportunities are not getting to one gender, it should be a red flag for you to say, so what can we do to push this up?
Okay. So on a playful note, I want to ask you one primary school question. Are men and women equal?
Well, if we go by that, God created all of us and created every human being, and every soul is important before God, whether it's male or female.
Okay. You have not answered the question.
I'm going spiritual, so I just want to stop at that, to say that all of us are equal before God.
Okay, I like that. Okay, so what are some of the programs that Research Enterprise Systems, are coming up with, maybe in the nearest future, that the public can benefit from?
So we have our training program that we call Advanced Research Design course that people can come. If you have a research that you are doing, or you are undergoing a postgraduate program, or you are interested in building your capacity to generate credible, reliable, and very useful evidence, you can participate in the program. And we do the program from time to time. We announce on our website, www.res.org.ng. You can visit at any time and get updates on that course. Okay. We also have a range of other programs that we do every month. We have our programs lined up, but we do show them on our website and our various social media handles. So visit our website to get more information.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for taking time to be here.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Beloved viewers, thank you for taking time to watch this video. Please remember to subscribe, remember to like, remember to share. Thank you and God bless you. Till I come your way next time. Bye for now.